So after much speculation, Nigel Farage has ruled out standing in June's general election.
Yes, following 7 failed attempts to become an MP, the former UKIP leader has announced he'll instead stay on as a member of the European Parliament as the UK negotiates its exit from the EU, and he joins us now. So you're not standing as MP. The MP that you did have, Douglas Carswell, is saying he's not standing as a UKIP MP this time round. He's voting Conservative and putting his money where that is. I wonder what kind of message this sends to voters. If you can't be bothered to stand, he can't be bothered to stand, why should anybody vote for UKIP?
I don't think he's a particularly good example. I mean, he's not really been with us from the start, frankly, so you can take him out of the equation. I mean, I came into politics from business.
He's the only one that won, though, Nigel, that got a seat.
Yeah, I know 4 million votes and one person won. I mean, the system's wrong, but there we are, that's for another day. Where am I best placed now to help the Brexit process? Now, one option is I run to be a backbench MP. The other option is I stay leading a group of nearly 50 MEPs in Brussels and Strasbourg. I've got a front row seat, and the European Parliament will be doing the Brexit negotiations, not the British Parliament, and ultimately the European Parliament has a veto over this. I feel I can do more for Brexit there than I could here.
Yeah,
With that in mind, then, is there any point in having UKIP over here? Because the reality is, as you've just pointed out, you're doing more benefit in Europe. There's no one over here, not even you want to stand over here because you don't believe you could really have that much impact over here.
Because I'm in a unique position, because I'm leading a group in the European Parliament. I sit on that front row bench. I sit next to Mr Juncker, the President of the European Commission. I've got a big profile in the European media, and I've got a chance, I think...
Nigel, and we love you. We love hearing about your extraordinary success.
It's about Brexit.
But we're talking about the party, UKIP. That's what we're asking you about. Is there any point in it? Should anybody vote for it now? You've got Brexit, and, you know, what's
without
left?
UKIP, we could not have won the war.
I know, that's the past,
And without
though.
UKIP, we will not get the right peace. And my worry is that Theresa May fights this election, wins a very big majority, puts the pressure of a 2020 general election immediately after Brexit. She's kicked it down the road. Already we're seeing concessions from the government. They're not going to take back our territorial fishing waters. They're in a complete mess over when they will end open-door immigration from the European Union. We need a very strong UKIP voice to hold this government to account.
But there won't be a voice in our Parliament. Because...
Well, there may well be. Why shouldn't there be?
Well, because if you're not willing to stand, because you don't believe that there's any point in you standing, and you are the figurehead, you are the person that people look at as Mr UKIP. You're not the leader anymore.
Yeah, but I'm not going to Florida fishing for 6 weeks. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be supporting the party. I'll be going around the country backing candidates. It's difficult when a Prime Minister starts to use the rhetoric that has been UKIP's rhetoric for years. It is difficult. But as this next 6 weeks progresses, people will realise that the Tories are going to win a massive majority and that having UKIP voices there will help the Brexit cause. I do think there are areas, particularly some Labour-held seats, where UKIP's got every chance of winning. OK, so 2 or 3 seats, you're thinking more than that, potentially? If we won a handful of seats, we'd be very pleased.
And what's a handful? 5?
Well, it is by my count.
Yes,
but,
I
don't know what's going to happen in this election, nor do you. There could be huge surprises. Undoubtedly, this system makes it incredibly tough for us. When it's proportional representation, as it was in the European elections 3 years ago, we won.
You benefit.
So,
massively.
you know, it's not easy, but it's a very important
It's not just the system that makes it difficult as well, because actually UKIP's at its lowest support level since 2013 and 17. Like, as you said, the Prime Minister's using some of your rhetoric, and the hard Brexit that they're aiming for, that everybody else is fighting against, isn't quite hard enough for some of the things that you would like. But the reality is, though, UKIP's 7 points down and almost have become a victim of their own success. Would you say that's fair?
Prime Minister is saying, unless you vote for me, there will be this progressive alliance of Labour, Lib Dems and the SNP who will form the next government and reverse Brexit. And at the minute, people are saying, oh, what an horrendous prospect. We're Brexiteers. We've got to back May. I think in a month's time, when you see that actually the Tories are still 20 points ahead of Labour, then I think you'll see UKIP voters coming home.
So why should they vote for you and for UKIP as opposed to for the Tory government? Because you're both saying...
Because the Tory government's record on these things is very, very poor. I mean, this Prime Minister, she says wonderful things. As Home Secretary, she pledged to bring immigration down, and actually it went up. She has a record of failure, and we need to be there. We need to be there to stop them conceding to Brussels in these negotiations.
Yeah, Nigel, you tried and failed 7 times to become an MP. Is there part of you that's relieved that you can say, do you know what, this time I'm not going to stand, so I can't face those accusations of failing to become an MP, and I can just throw my support behind UKIP? Is there any relief to you not
during the 1990s, you know, we stood in election after election with no prospect of winning. We did it to use it as a platform to build a political message. I mean, a bit of me says given how badly I felt I was treated back in 2015, and let's be honest, the police are investigating some of those things, given how badly I feel, there would be a sense of vindication in standing and fighting. But I genuinely think I've got a unique platform in Europe. That's where the action is going to be for the next 2 years. I need to be there.